have random people coming into your office using your desktop software?
Again, that could have been modified in a number of ways. A number of ways, sir.
That's not my question. My question is, as the public administrator, did you allow people to go into your office in the middle of the day and manipulate and use your computer?
I didn't allow it, but that's not to say that it didn't happen, sir.
So the answer is you had an edict that said you're not allowed to do this, correct?
But if I wasn't around or whatever, I don't know.
I mean, you would hope as the head of the department they would have at least not used your computer, right?
I would have hoped, but you'd be surprised what happened in that office.
Okay. Right, because of the conspiracy? Right, okay. Isn't it true? I think we've heard from both your expert and Detective Jappy that there was no outgoing messages from your phone between 8:48 a.m. and 2:05 p.m., correct?
Right.
Okay. You mentioned, or at least we've kind of heard this comment about, well, maybe I was hacked. Just to be clear, you never reported to anyone that your phone was hacked prior to September 2nd, correct?
I wouldn't have known about it because there didn't seem to be anything wrong with the phone at the time.
So the answer is you've never reported any situation that
I didn't have knowledge
correct?
of whether it had been or not.
You've never reported that your phone was stolen, correct, prior to 9/2?
That definitely did not happen.
Okay. You never reported that your house was broken into prior to 9/2, correct?
I did not, nope.
And there aren't any text messages on your phone complaining about being hacked, right?
Again, if I was hacked, I might not have known it.
Well, you know, and sometimes when we notice we've been hacked, some people will send out emails to people like, oh, you know, ignore this email, I've been hacked, things like that, right?
Yeah, there are various types of hacks, sir.
Right, right. But there's nothing like that on your phone either, correct?
No, and again, that doesn't necessarily mean it wasn't hacked. Or that somebody didn't create a false image later or add files to that image later.
Okay. So, sir, I want to now talk to you about this conspiracy a little bit. Is Rita Reed in the conspiracy?
Well, she certainly took money from Compass Realty and Adam Fenn.
So the answer is she conspired to murder Jeff Garman?
I don't know to what extent she had knowledge of anything other than to make sure that I got taken down.
Taken down. So she conspired to have you framed for the murder of Jeff Garman?
I don't know that she was privy to that particular part of.
So she's not part of the conspiracy?
I can't say either way, sir.
Okay, so you're not tying her to this?
I don't have any evidence to tie her to this.
Can we rule her out?
Object, you're going to be allowed to answer questions.
Sir, go ahead. Please finish.
What was the question
I'll
at this
ask the
point?
question again. Can we rule Rita Reed out of your conspiracy to murder Jeff Garman?
I think it's weird that maybe it's not weird. Obviously, you've got to try to minimize the concern that I have with this and try to make me seem like I'm crazy for it. But there's the evidence to back up what has been occurring. So that is what it is, sir.
Okay, so let's focus on my question. Can we rule out?
I don't know that we can either way, sir.
Okay, so it's possible she's part of it.
I would be surprised, but I couldn't rule it out.
Okay, so it's possible.
Anything is possible.
Okay. Alicia Goodwin, is she part of this conspiracy?
Again, part of the conspiracy, sure. Part of a conspiracy.
Let me specify. Is she part of the conspiracy to murder Jeff Garman?
I would think it's unlikely.
Okay, so we can rule her out.
I mean, again, I couldn't rule anything out, but certainly I think it's unlikely.
So it's possible.
Again, anything's possible. Sir.
Okay, so we can't rule her out because anything's possible.
That's what I said. I said
All
unlikely, but
Okay.
if we
Understood. How about Mr. Cahill? Is he part of the conspiracy to kill Jeff Garman?
Again, highly unlikely, but
you're not ruling it out.
Without further evidence, I cannot rule it out, sir.
Okay, so it's possible.
Again, anything is possible, sir.
Is Thomas Monroe, who's part of Compass Realty, I believe, is he part of this conspiracy to murder Jeff Garman?
Thomas Moore?
I apologize. Thomas Moore. Is he part of this?
I would think that would be likely, yes.
Okay, likely. Okay. And Compass Realty as a business as a whole is part of this as well, to kill Mr. Garman, correct?
Again, if you recall that the best way to take me down would be to frame me for Mr. Gurman's murder. And so, yes, I do believe that.
And I want to write that down. You said the best way to take me out is to frame you for killing Gurman, right?
Yes, sir.
I'm paraphrasing, but essentially that's it.
Absolutely.
Okay. You would agree, and I think you told this jury extensively on direct examination, what a thorn you were in the side of Compass Realty, correct?
I was, yes.
You fought them at every turn, correct?
Absolutely.
You thought what they were doing was improper, correct?
I think I proved that.
Okay, you thought that so much of their wrongdoing that you actually went to the police about it, correct?
Yes, sir.
And you were, till the moment that you were stopped working in that office, you fought against Compass Realty, correct?
I believe when that order was entered on August 30th, that shows that. Absolutely.
And the issue for Compass Realty is because you were the public administrator, correct?
Right.
You stood in their way from doing the things that they wanted to do in terms of independent administrators. Is that right?
Yes, sir. And in fact, again, that order was going to allow me to dig into them and actually prove, without a doubt, that Detective Jaffe was just ignoring criminal conduct, sir. Yes.
So here's the thing, though. You said that they did something else. They also donated to somebody. Who did they donate to?
That's Reed Reed.
How much money did they donate?
$10,000.
So they thought, and let me get this straight. This is, in your opinion, the things that they were doing cost in the millions. Is that right?
Absolutely.
This is $1 million scheme that they're running, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And all they could muster to fund an opponent was $10,000?
No, campaign laws prohibit anything over $10,000.
So did any other independent employees of Compass Realty shell out money for Rita?
So there's, again, Adam Fenn and also
How
Compass
much?
Realty.
How much?
$5,000 each. And so, that's all that they needed in order to...
So if I'm hearing you correctly, you have described yourself as the sole impediment for their multi-million-dollar scheme, and the only thing that they could come up with financially to stop you is just $10,000?
No, sir.
Okay. That's your C&Es that you submitted. That's all we have, right? It's like $10,000.
That's $10,000 on a campaign contribution report.
Right.
That is not all the money that they've given to anybody to, again, to engage in this activity.
Are you speculating at this point?
Ask if you're allowed to answer the
Okay,
question.
please finish the question.
Again, without being able to firsthand investigate, because Mr. Gurman was murdered and I had been arrested and been sitting in jail for 2 years, perhaps I'm speculating, but if I'd had that authority like I had intended, I would have uncovered the various different ways that they actually tried to, thwart me. All the attorney's fees that they paid in order to pay these attorneys who would, again, this was an escalating situation that started basically, go on.
I mean, I think we're a little far afield of my question at this point.
Okay.
I don't know that was as responsive to my question. So let me direct you back to it. You would agree like $10,000 is really not that much money. In the world of countywide races, $10,000, not that much, correct?
In the world of county races, it's the maximum contributions for these two guys, or these two entities.
For those two guys. But listen, if we're talking about, you know how politics works. If there are businesses or special interests, they pool their money together behind a candidate, right? You don't know that, but you were.
It depends on the. It depends on the situation. It depends on the situation.
Sir, are you going to sit here and tell this jury you've run for political office twice and you don't know that businesses or special interests pool their money together to back a candidate they really want? Are you really telling them that?
Again, I don't have firsthand knowledge of that because I've never had that happen for me.
Right.
Now, if you're talking about political action committees, I don't know, what do you, PACs?
Look, the bottom line is all they donated was $10,000, correct?
I think that's a mischaracterization of
Fine.
everything they've done.
Let's move on. And then here's the crazy part. They won, right?
And I still kept fighting them, yes.
No, sir. You were a lame duck as of September 2nd, 2022. Isn't that right?
But I still continue to fight Compass Realty.
That's not my question. You're out of a job in that you're not an impediment as of January 1st. Isn't that right?
As of January 1st, but I was right then.
So you're trying to tell us that Compass Realty was so upset with you that they backed a candidate who wins, but then they just can't wait any longer, so they murder a reporter? They can't wait the 3 months?
I would recommend that the jury watch the video and again see the time at which the order was filed, and I think you might agree that yes, that is absolutely the case, sir.
So the answer to my question is yes.
That
Compass Realty, even though they successfully backed a candidate that defeated you in a primary, they couldn't wait another 3 months for you to leave office, correct?
because I've got the authority to really crack things open then.
So again, he's answering the question. These are fairly complex questions. They require complex answers.
Sir, are you finished?
I am now, sir.
Okay, so then my next question is this. If they hated you so much...
I don't think they know me to hate me, but sure.
Well, I mean, they're willing to kill people over you, right?
I guess they would have hated me, yeah.
Right. And if they hated you so much, why didn't they just kill you?
That's a really good question, and I would like to answer it. My belief as to why they did.
Please tell me why they didn't just bother killing you.
Because if they'd killed me, would that have stopped Nevada State Division from investigating them? No. If they killed me, would anybody have felt the duty to continue my work because I was actually doing this? I think so. So murdering me would have not discredited me. It would not have put me in a position where all the work that I was doing just got left by the wayside. It would make no sense to kill me.
So your theory is that Jeff Garman is collateral damage?
When you've taken into account the fact that months earlier we had this public feud, it's a pretty convenient way to do this.
So the guy who writes the articles that ends your career, they reward him by killing him?
Well, again, like I said, it was a pretty good way to do this.
And let's not get it twisted. Rita and Alicia are part of the conspiracy that loop in Jeff Garman, and they're in cahoots with Compass. So they're like, you know what? Thanks, Jeff, but you got to go. That's what you're suggesting?
And like I said, I don't know that they knew about that particular aspect of the conspiracy, sir.
Okay.
I mean, I would certainly think that they wouldn't, because you're right. I can't imagine that they would know and be okay with that, sir.
Isn't it also true that Roberta testified that once you lost, Rita Reed was actually reversing the things that you did in the office, right?
That would be her prerogative at that point.
Okay. So changes were even afoot before you had even left office, correct?
Sure.
And you even told us that once Rita took over, nothing came of the things that you wanted to, like none of the things that you want to investigate were ever done, right?
I was talking about the fact that I had this investigative authority against Compass Realty that I had just gotten just a few days before Mr. Gurman was murdered, and she never picked up that torch and ran with it. And it's clear why she didn't, because Compass Realty gave her that money, despite the fact that, as you saw, sir, she, and these homes, millions of dollars in theft, sir.
So the answer to my question is yes. Rita Reed never followed through with the things that the authority that you had, correct?
Regarding Compass Realty, yes, sir.
Thank you. And just to be clear, she was going to have full authority as of January, right?
Yes, sir.
And the authority could have gotten Compass in trouble, but that risk was eliminated once they put Rita in, according to your theory, right? Once
she actually became the public administrator, that would be the case. But while I was still, as you call it, a lame duck, I was still coming after them, sir.
Okay, so your thought is murder was the only way.
There might have been other ways, but it was again, if they didn't do it, they sure had a windfall for it that they didn't expect.
So how did Compass break into your home to plant this evidence?
Like I said before, I don't know how it got in there, but I did not put it there, sir.
How did they plant the hat?
Again, I don't know how it got there, but I didn't put it there.
How did they plant the shoes?
I don't know how it got under the couch, but I did not put it there.
How did they get your DNA in there?
Again, I don't know when and where that DNA was allegedly obtained, so I couldn't say, sir.
How did they put the images in your phone?
Again, I don't know if that was in my phone or on a corrupt image or what have you. Again, you cannot say when or where any of this occurred, really.
And again, when they executed this warrant, the police, they did that also in the presence of your wife, correct?
Not exactly, sir, if I may.
So the answer to my question is no?
Not all of them did.
Okay.
And so...
No question pending. I appreciate it. You'll have a chance on redirect.
Okay.
So let's start focusing on May of 2012, or May of 2022. Sorry about that.